That is the essence of what politicians want and what they have to sell. They want re-election, and obviously the power that comes with it. And if you're in the United States, male politicians, an unending stream of female interns. I don't know why that seems to be important to them. I read that in a book somewhere too. Anyway, so but and they sell other people's money for the campaign contributions and votes. Now, what do special interest groups want? Special interest groups are groups in society who want to have higher incomes or revenues than they can openly and peacefully and competitively earn in the marketplace. That's the farmer who doesn't want to sell his price at a particular market price. So he goes to the government, as in the United States or the European Union, and they lobby the politicians, please give us a farm price support, which means a guaranteed minimum price for certain agricultural products. And whether we, the consumers, want to pay it or not, whatever, we won't buy at that guaranteed minimum price. The European Union or the US government buys the surplus and pays the farmer the extra money. And where does the government of either the European Union or the US get the money to pay for all those surpluses the farmers have produced? By taxing us, other people's money. They want other people's money. Or in the example, they want to get your consumer business. They want a larger market share, but they can't match the competitor's price from abroad. So they lobby the government to put in the tariff so they get more of your business than they could without the tariff. Other people's money. So they want outcomes by the use of political power through government regulation or redistribution that they could not acquire peacefully and honestly from you, either through charity or through honest market exchanges. So they want to use the power of government through the politicians they elect to gain access in one form or another to your pocket. Now what about bureaucrats? What do bureaucrats want? Well, let me suggest they want larger budgets and more authority. For why? Well, the larger the bureaucracy, the more chances for employment and promotion, which puts you higher on the pecking order, as well as higher incomes. And more authority, so you can rationalize this. And the key of the bureaucrat is to never solve the social problem for which his department, bureau, or agency has been established. Because if the social problem for which the department, bureau, and agency had been created was solved, then how would they justify staying in business? I don't know how it is in the Bahamas, but every year, you know, heads of government departments have to go before the U.S. Congress, I guess we'd be here before parliamentary committees, and justify, you know, what their budget should be for the next budget year, right? Have you ever heard any of these government department heads say, well, Mr. Minister, Member of Parliament, please, you know the problem for which you set us up 10 years ago? It's solved. Yeah, you told us to solve it, it's done. Please, next year, cut our budget 50%, we don't need it. And by the way, we can start letting people off in my department. We don't need it, the social problem's been solved. And by the way, you can fire me in 3 years too. Please, I'm begging you. I want a job in the private sector. I'm tired of working for you. Have you ever heard a department head of any ministry say such a thing at budget time to the parliament committees? No! Oh, we don't have enough money. Oh, the problem hasn't been solved. Oh, we're kind of solved the problem, but we realize there's a new problem, and we need our budget to be even bigger and more authority to take care of the new problem. It's on and on and on. Now compare that in the marketplace. In the marketplace, how does the seller get your business? New and improved and better. Right? He gets your money by solving your problems. Right? The cleaner that actually gets the stain out. If he doesn't get the stain out, you're not going to buy it next time, and he's out of business. Right? The vacuum cleaner that actually gets all the dirt up. Right? Otherwise, you're going to buy a different vacuum cleaner. And you can go on and on and on. In the marketplace, people make money by actually solving your problems. In the political arena, those who manage the bureaus, agencies, and departments save their jobs by never solving it. Because that's the only way to justify the continuance of what they're doing. And this acts as an interactive process that enables them to stay in power. The free market economist Milton Friedman once called this the iron triangle of politics, or the iron triangle of the status quo. Politicians want to buy votes, the special interests want the favors from the politicians for the votes, the bureaucrats want the regulatory authority that assists what the politicians and the special interest groups are doing, and they reinforce this tendency for government to keep its stranglehold over people's lives and market activities, and keeps growing and bigger. The government spends more, taxes more, borrows more, gets further into debt. Why is this the case? Because you'd figure, well, why do we put up with this? Surely, as the old philosophical phrase says, know the truth. The truth will set you free, right? The truth will set you free. If you know the truth, you're free. Why do we put up with this? Well, the other element of this, and I talk about it in the article also, Why Government Grows, is what these public choice theorists call concentration of benefits and diffusion of burdens. And the best way to explain this is with an example. Imagine that you have a society of 30 million people, 30 million population. Okay? And a special interest group lobbies the government, the politicians, to increase taxes by just $1 a year. Okay? So new tax, $1 per person a year. Well, if the population is 30 million and the tax is $1, everyone only pays $1, but how much in total is collected? This is not a trick math question. $30 million. Now let us suppose that there's a special interest group, made up of 30 people. And they persuade the government to raise taxes by $1 per person because this is a needy cause, they're a deserving group, and the $30 million is going to be distributed to the 30 people, which means each of the 30 now gets $1 million. Okay? Isn't that true? Yes. Now, if you felt confident that if you hired the right lobbying organization or group, that they could pressure, petition, persuade, cajole, maybe even bribe, the right person on the right government committee to pass this new tax, would it be worth your while to spend money to get it achieved? Let's suppose that each of these 30 people got together in an association, a group, a special interest group, and they all agreed to kick in $100,000. Right? So 100,000 times 30 is how much? $3 million. So now you spend $3 million to lobby, petition, pressure, persuade politicians to raise taxes and then redistribute it to your interest group for one reason or another. Is it worth spending $100,000 to make $1 million? I mean, you're business students. That's not a bad payoff, right? You invest $100,000, you get $1 million. I'm looking for that bargain. Now, each of these people are going to have a big incentive to lobby, petition, influence the political process for the taxes to be raised $1 a person for each of them to make $1 million out of it. The problem is, what about the people who are paying the taxes? Is there an equal incentive and willingness to take the time, interest, and effort to oppose the increase in tax? Well, yeah, it's $30 million. It's nothing to sneeze at. Okay, $30 million is nothing to sneeze at. That's $30 million out of our pockets. And that's $30 million going to 30 people. That's making each one of them a lot wealthier than probably they were before. But what is the motive and incentive of each one of us as an individual voter taxpayer to take an interest enough to try to know about it or prevent it or repeal it if it's in existence? How much, if the tax is repealed or is prevented from being implemented at all, how much are we saved in taxes? $1 per person.